What you just saw is the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. It is doubling up as a Russian military base now. It is packed with soldiers and weapons. They're launching rockets from inside, and the whole world is worried about the consequences, including India. We told you about the dangerous escalation yesterday, the threat of a nuclear disaster in Ukraine. This nuclear plant was hit by shelling, not once or twice, but at least 10 times. I'll repeat that for you. A nuclear plant was shelled 10 times. And you don't need me to tell you how dangerous that is. It's a critical juncture in this war. A nuclear power plant is being used as leverage. Russia and Ukraine are striking, and the world is unable to stop them, it seems. The Zaporizhzhia plant has been in Russia's control since the month of March. In recent weeks, it has become a battlefield. Fighting around the camp has increased and intensified. There are 6 reactors at this facility. The Russians control all of them, but the staff is Ukrainian. They were there before the invasion, and when the Russian soldiers took control, they kept the Ukrainian staff. And from here, they began attacking Ukrainian soldiers from the nuclear facility. The Russians are not stepping out to fight. They're launching attacks from inside the nuclear plant. There are about 500 Russian soldiers inside the facility. We have satellite images from last month. You can see a dozen military vehicles parked near buildings. Just look how close they were to the first and the second reactor. There were also some tents nearby, presumably being used by Russian troops. Reports say a Ukrainian staff member was also beaten to death. A few weeks ago, the Ukrainians began firing back. They conducted a drone strike on the nuclear plant. Would you believe it? A drone strike on a nuclear power plant, and then they released the video. This is a kamikaze drone firing at Russian soldiers inside the nuclear facility. Remember those military tents near the reactor? The Ukrainian soldiers destroyed them. 3 people were killed, 12 were injured. They're believed to be Russians. And since then, both sides have been firing at each other. Here's an assessment on the latest strikes. This is from the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA. It is a global nuclear watchdog. And it says the plant's power supply was hit. And this is very, very serious, because uninterrupted power is critical for any nuclear plant. Reactors need constant circulation of water to cool their core, and for that, you have to operate water pumps. And these pumps run on electricity, which is why you need a steady supply of water. And this supply line was damaged in a strike. It's not clear who was behind it or whether it's been fixed. But there's more bad news. There is a nuclear storage facility at the plant. A rocket blew up close to it. No side is claiming responsibility, and none is showing responsibility. They keep pushing their luck, it seems. This week, Russia fired rockets from the facility. They hit residential areas. 14 civilians died. Then there was shelling yesterday. The IAEA has pressed the panic button.
It's a serious hour, great hour. And the IAEA must be allowed to conduct its mission to Zaporizhzhia as soon as possible. The IAEA has been ready to perform such a mission since June, when we were ready to go. But unfortunately, due to political factors and other considerations, it was not possible.
This is a grave hour, he says. But his appeal fell on deaf ears. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia is indulging in nuclear blackmail.
Russia can provoke the largest radiation emergency in history at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear station. And the factual aftermath can be more catastrophic than Chernobyl.
More catastrophic than Chernobyl, he says, but that's not stopping Ukrainian forces from firing. The United Nations Security Council met on Thursday to discuss this. The Russian ambassador said Ukraine was conducting, quote-unquote, criminal acts on nuclear infrastructure. And as this blame game continues, India too has expressed concern.
India expresses its concern over the reports of shelling near the spent fuel storage facility of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. We call for mutual restraint so as not to endanger the safety and security of nuclear facilities. Mr. President, India continues to remain concerned over the situation in Ukraine. Since the beginning of the conflict, India has consistently called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and an end to violence. We've called upon both sides to return to the path of diplomacy and dialogue. We support all diplomatic efforts to end the conflict.
The United Nations is trying to break the impasse. They have proposed a demilitarized zone around the plant.
He urges the withdrawal of any military personnel and equipment from the plant and the avoidance of any further deployment of forces or equipment to the site. The facility must not be used as part of any military operation, he said. Instead, urgent agreement is needed at the technical level on a safe perimeter of demilitarization to ensure the safety of the area.
It's a good idea, but it won't work until all stakeholders are on board, and that's not happening in a hurry. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.